Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. How the Cincinnati quarterfinalists got here, plus their path to the semis. After more than a week of play and plenty of stops and starts, the weather has hardly cooperated. We're down to the final 8 at the Cincinnati Open, the final WTA 1000 event of the North American hardcourt swing. The quarterfinalists are a healthy mix of top seeds, consistent and reliable contenders, and a few under-the-radar surprises. Aren't there always? This is how they got there, and what they'll need to do, and who they'll have to go through to get to the semifinals. The favorites. Aryna Sabalenka. Sabalenka is still the favorite to win this tournament, save for the fact that she played a 3-hour and 9-minute epic against Emma Raducanu on Monday. Will she be fatigued from that match, both mentally and physically? She sure didn't appear so on Wednesday, defeating the red-hot Jessica Buze's Monero with relative ease. More bad news for her opponents. If it gets to a tiebreak, it's all but over. The defending champion and world number 1 has taken 18 of 19 tiebreaks in 2025, an Open-era record. Coco Gauff. Following a quick turnaround from Montreal, where she won the doubles trophy last week, Gauff has gotten a much-needed breather this week, following a walkover from Diana Yastremska. In the third round and rain postponing play, the world number 2 played a match for the first time in 4 days on Thursday and promptly defeated Lucia Bronzetti 6-2, 6-4 in 1 hour and 19 minutes. Perhaps most encouraging was the fact that she only had 3 double faults against the Italian, her lowest total since the French Open semifinals. Gauff, you might recall, won this tournament 2 years ago. She has another great shot this year. Iga Swiatek. It's been a solid week for the Wimbledon champion, following an earlier-than-expected exit in Montreal. The world number 3 has taken care of business calmly and efficiently, dispatching unseeded foes Anastasia Potapova and Sorana Cîrstea, with a Marta Kostyuk walkover sandwiched in between. She's never reached the final in Cincinnati, but did reach the semis each of the past 2 years. Though she hasn't faced the stiffest of tests to this point, she looks dangerous. The contenders. Jasmine Paolini. Paolini has been a bit under the radar this tournament, but she's looked more like herself in Cincinnati after a first-round loss in Montreal a couple weeks ago. After winning her first 3 sets in tiebreaks, the first 2 over Maria Sakkari, and the last over Ashlyn Kruger, the Italian has dropped just 4 games in the last 3 sets, including a 6-1, 6-2 win over Barbara Krejcikova. In a rematch of the 2024 Wimbledon final, Paolini made the quarters in Cincinnati 2 years ago, losing to eventual champion Gauff. The rematch on Friday should be fun. Elena Rybakina. Rybakina is back in the Cincinnati quarterfinals for the second time. She made it to this round in 2022, where she lost to Madison Keys. On Wednesday, she upset the 6-seeded Keys in 3 sets to reach the final 8. It was the 3rd consecutive come-from-behind win for the Kazakhstani this week, after 3-set comebacks against Renata Zarazua and Elise Mertens. In her first 2 matches, does she have more come-from-behind magic in her? Her biggest test awaits. Can they break through? Anna Kalinskaya. She already has broken through, at least against Ekaterina Alexandrova. The 28th seed defeated Alexandrova 3-6, 7-6, 5, 6-1 for her first win in 7 tries against the world number 16. And that came after an upset of Wimbledon finalist Amanda Anisimova. It's been a productive summer for the former world number 11, who reached the final in Washington, D.C. in July and looks to be in strong form. Kalinskaya has had deep runs at WTA 1000 tournaments and Grand Slams in the past, but a win over Swiatek to reach the Cincinnati semis would qualify as a major career moment. Veronika Kudermetova. This wouldn't be a career breakthrough, but reaching the semifinals would certainly be the highlight of her season. The world number 36 won her 4th consecutive match this week on Thursday night, defeating 31st-seeded Magda Linette in straight sets after beating 2 other seeded players, Belinda Bencic and Clara Tauson. Before that, with Gracheva on deck, a massive opportunity is staring her in the face. Varvara Gracheva. What a magical week for the 25-year-old Frenchwoman, who came into this tournament ranked 103rd with a sub-.500 record, 18-19. All she's done in Cincinnati is win 6 consecutive matches, coming through qualifying and upsetting 24th-seeded Sofia Kenin and 11th-seeded Karolina Machova, her 5th career top 20 win. Then in the 4th round, she came from a set down to oust Ella Seidel, who had a similarly special week. Will the quarterfinal moment, her first at a WTA 1000, be too big for her, or is she feeling invincible? The matches: Sabalenka versus Rybakina. These two have played a ton, with Sabalenka leading the head-to-head 7-4. Sabalenka won their most recent meeting, a 3-set tussle on grass in Berlin. But Rybakina won their last hardcourt clash, another 3-setter at last year's WTA Finals in Saudi Arabia. Swiatek versus Kalinskaya. You might be surprised that Kalinskaya has the edge in their head-to-head, winning their lone matchup. Kalinskaya took it rather decisively, 6-4, 6-4, on a hard court in Dubai in 2024. A creative journey. How the Cincinnati quarterfinalists carved their path. Let's dive into a compelling narrative of tenacity, tactical brilliance, and emotional stakes as the quarterfinalists emerge in this thrilling edition of the Cincinnati Open. 1. Jannik Sinner, the relentless champion. Sinner, the defending champion and world number 1, breezed through with precision and unwavering consistency. He dispatched Adrian Mannarino 6-4, 7-6-4, notching 12 aces and dominating with his first serve points. Tennis majors. El Pace. Reuters. In his quarterfinal clash, Sinner obliterated Felix Auger-Aliassime 6-0, 6-2 in just 71 minutes, extending his hardcourt winning streak to a staggering 25 matches and cementing his place among tennis's elite. Reuters. The Times of India. Now he awaits a semi-final showdown against the tournament surprise, qualifier Terence at Maine. 2. Terence at Maine, the breakout star. A qualifier turned storybook semi-finalist. That's the at Maine saga. Ranked number 136 and entering via the qualifiers, he stunned number 4 seed Taylor Fritz in an epic 3-6, 7-5, 6-3 victory. Tennis majors. Diary Oaz. The Times of India. His run included wins over Yoshihito Nishioka, Flavio Kobali, Joao Fonseca, and the elite Fritz, a feat not seen since 2022 in a Masters 1000 event. Wikipedia. Tennis majors. Diary Oaz. At Maine now stands poised to clash with Sinner in one of the tournament's most captivating semifinal stories yet. 3. Carlos Alcaraz, the next-gen powerhouse. The world number 2 wasted no time. Alcaraz thrashed Luca Nardi 6-1, 6-4, showcasing blistering pace and composure even amid rain delays. Tennis majors. El Pace. The Times of India. He'll now face Andrei Rublev in the quarterfinals, another battle of raw power and resilience. 4. Andrei Rublev, the steady challenger. Rublev has quietly advanced into the quarters, defeating Francisco Compsona 6-2, 6-3 to earn his matchup with Alcaraz. Tennis majors. Wikipedia. While Rublev may fly under the radar, his consistency and heavy-hitting baseline game can never be underestimated. 5. Alexander Zverev, the veteran contender. The 2021 Cincinnati champion is back on course. After finishing his rain-interrupted match against Brandon Nakashima 6-4, 6-4, Zverev advanced when Karen Khachanov retired in their round of 16 battle. Reuters. Bild. Tennis majors. Now he faces countryman Ben Shelton, a fresh talent riding home support, with a potential semifinal clash awaiting the winner against Alcaraz or Rublev. Bild. Tennis majors. Wikipedia. 6. Ben Shelton, the local hope. Shelton steps into the quarterfinals as the last American man standing. After inheriting a walkover, he beat Roberto Bautista Agut and upset Yuri Lehecka to secure his spot. Reuters. Tennis majors. ATP Tour. His youthful energy and home crowd backing make him an intriguing matchup against Zverev. 7. Cory Coco Gauff, the young prodigy. On the women's side, Coco Gauff continues to evolve with poise beyond her years. She powered past Lucia Bronzetti 6-2, 6-4, her 19th WTA 1000 quarterfinal appearance before age 22, surpassing Serena Williams in this mark. The Sun. Talksport. Playing a strategic blend of aggression and control under challenging conditions. Goff now prepares to take on Italy's Jasmine Paolini. Reuters. The Sun. Talksport. 8. Iga Swiatek, the Polish power. Swiatek remains formidable. She defeated Sorana Cîrstea 6-4, 6-4, and heads into the quarterfinals, primed to battle Anna Kalinskaya. Reuters. 9. Aryna Sabalenka, the formidable reigning champion. Sabalenka, seeking back-to-back Cincinnati titles, advanced by defeating Marketa Vondrousova and Emma Raducanu in earlier rounds, then outlasted Jessica Buses-Monero to secure her quarterfinal appearance. WTA Tennis Insights, News and Analysis. The Times of India. She now faces Elena Rybakina in a highly anticipated quarterfinal matchup. Wikipedia. The Times of India. 10. Anna Kalinskaya, the underdog rising. Kalinskaya cracked the quarterfinals by defeating Magda Linette in an extended match filled with persistence and mental grit. Reuters. She faces the formidable Swiatek in the next round, a classic clash of underdog ambition versus elite poise. Summary table, quarterfinal paths, and next battles. Player path to quarterfinals next matchup. Jannik Sinner defeated Mannarino, then crushed Auger Aliassime 6-0. 6-2 versus Terence at Main qualifier. Terence at Main qualified beat Kobali, Fonseca, Fritz, shocking top for seed, versus Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz defeated Nardi in dominant straight sets versus Andrei Rublev. Andrei Rublev beat Kumsana 6-2, 6-3 versus Carlos Alcaraz. Alexander Zverev finished Nakashima win, advanced after Khachanov retirement versus Ben Shelton. Ben Shelton walkover, beat Bautista Agut, beat Lehecka versus Alexander Zverev. Coco Gauff beat Bronzetti. Youngest WTA 1000 quarterfinal record versus Jasmine Paolini. Anna Kalinskaya upset Linette over 2 days in rain-affected clash versus Iga Swiatek. Iga Swiatek beat Cîrstea 6-4, 6-4 versus Anna Kalinskaya. Aryna Sabalenka beat Vondrousova. Raducanu. Buses-Monero versus Elena Rybakina. Closing thoughts. The Cincinnati Open quarterfinals are a rich tapestry of contrasting tales. Dominance versus discovery. Sinner's steamroller consistency against at Main's rise from the qualifiers. Legends versus locals. Alcaraz and Rublev's high-stakes clash versus Shelton's homegrown hopes. Veterans versus next-gen. Zverev's experience countered by Shelton's youthful rise. Elite icons versus WDA's emerging greats. Goff, Sabalenka, and Swiatek steering the women's draw with power, poise, and promise. As we edge closer to the semis, each match promises fireworks, where grit, strategy, and heart will determine who advances and who becomes part of Cincinnati Open folklore.